Hey guys, my name is Wormcrafter17, and today I'm going to be showing you the most illegal things that I own in Minecraft. Don't come after me, government. So I have a list of all the things, and I've ordered it from what I think is approximately the least to most interesting. So all the cool things are going to be at the end of the video, so stick around for that. Should also say, these are all going to be on Bedrock Edition, except for one. So, yeah. Anyways, number one is water in the Nether. And I've called this fountain Absence of Discernment. As you can see, this is water in the Nether. If I were to go and grab some glass bottles, I can take water from it. The reason this is number one, as in least interesting, is because you can literally just do this like this. Set block, squiggly, 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 water. There. Water in the Nether. Very easy to do, so I don't think it's really that illegal. But still interesting nonetheless, and kind of an inside joke between me and a good friend of mine. The number two most illegal thing, and also one of the least interesting, as my chair squeaks in the background, is I actually have it on right now. This is a set of stacked protection armor. As you can see, this chest plate has protection 4, fire protection 4, blast protection 4, and projectile protection 4, which shouldn't be possible. Now, the reason this is number 2 is because, as far as I know, you cannot make this on Bedrock Edition, but you can make it on Java Edition. I think it was 1.14.2 that introduced that bug. So I made it on Java Edition and then used external programs to bring it over to this world. I also have another set right here. So, yeah, kind of interesting, but also kind of not. Number 3 is a book that has just about every enchantment you can cram onto it on it. It has not been updated for the new ones, actually. Kind of just realized that now. But, here it is. As you can see, the list is quite long, and if I were to hold it in my hand, it just about takes up the entire height of my screen. So the reason it's called 536 million XP book is because if you were to, let me grab another enchanted book here, Windburst 3. There we go. Oh, it's even higher now. What is that? 1.073 billion XP to put this on there. And that could only possibly work in creative mode. So yeah, there's that. Also not that interesting, because it's just like, I don't know, I spent a little bit combining books in the correct way to get that to happen. So, still kind of illegal, but not as much as the things further down the list. My god, this is a big salmon. I don't think I've ever seen a salmon this big. Anyways. Number 4 is this strange looking nether portal. Don't mind that. As you can see, this is just powdered snow over here on this side, and obsidian on this side. If I were to break that or that, all of these nether portal tiles would go away. So we're not going to do that. But just to show that it works, in case you were doubting me, this is a functional nether portal. The weird thing is that it won't generate a portal on the other side. It just kind of spat me out in the wall, which shouldn't happen. I don't know if it still works. We can try that out right now. Let's try it out live. Does it still work? Spencer, powdered snow. So way you used to do this, at least, is you'd have to do it on, I don't know what direction that is, but it is a direction. Like this. Oh, it does still work. Sick. So yeah, you can do this right now. Just do not touch any of the blocks of the portal. Yeah, even if you place a block there, it'll break it. So yeah, that still works. Number 5 is more like an honorable mention because it's been patched, sadly. But in older versions of Bedrock Edition, these dogs would be entirely the color that their collar is. This was a bug for a long time, where you could spawn, I think it was a dog, or like a wolf with the on-tame thing. I don't know what exactly it was. If you spawn it with that, then you could use a dye on it, such as any one of these, and then the dog would turn entirely that color. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, like I said, it's been patched out and it doesn't work anymore. So, more of an honorable mention. Well, on my way to the next one, I found this, and I gotta say, I'm rather confused because this is a brand new thing in my nether tunnels. So, 5.1, I guess. This one also isn't super interesting, in my opinion, but the terrain generation over here is a little bizarre. It chose to put a mangrove swamp next to a taiga biome, and in a very strange and definitely not a trunk border pattern. Let's see if I can test that out live. I don't know if this resource pack works anymore. Ah, they are in the same chunk. Well, it's still pretty strange, isn't it? Because it looks like it should be on a trunk border. Also, there's iron golems just in the trees. Then, like, over here, there's also these. This is just a flower forest that became part of the mangrove swamp. Like, what is even happening here? Okay, this is a little more interesting than I thought it was. This is certainly something. Look at that, it's on a trunk border. Alright, so for number 7, I've had to make sure I'm facing a certain way because my render distance is so high. But this one is rather interesting. I don't know if I've talked about this on my channel yet, but this world is my old creative world, and it was created on the Xbox One edition of Minecraft with specific super flat presets, such as the world being 22 blocks tall by default, with the top layer being grass blocks, all the way down being dirt until the last layer, which is bedrock. And then I also selected the options for caves to generate. And at some point on Bedrock Edition, there was some kind of bug that just said, nah, we ain't doing that anymore. And it started generating normal terrain. Just normal ass Minecraft terrain all the way around this world. There's a giant area that is all normal super flat like this, and then beyond that it's all just bordered by normal world generation. So that's quite strange. What's even stranger is that it only happened with this world. So, this world's called Offline Creative because it's a specific variant of this world. Because there was the original version that was not offline, and then there was the version that happened at my mother's house, because I had two different Xboxes, and at my mother's house we didn't really have internet for a while, or it was very slow, so I wasn't allowed to use it. And this was the version of the world that I played on there. And it only happened in this one. The other version, completely fine. The only difference is that when it generates new terrain on that other one, it doesn't have caves in it. It's all just flat grass. But it's still the same height, it's still super flat. Everything else is pretty normal about it. But yeah, this world, very strange. Like, let's see if I can /locate structure trial chambers. There you go. There's a trial chamber in this world. There's /locate structure ancient city. We got that too. I have not tried to find either of those structures in this world, but they do exist. And maybe as a little bonus, let's just go and dig down here. Oh yeah. There's all these Hey guys, I found the trial chamber. What are the odds I just dig down right next to it? Okay. Yeah, so that happened. Let's go to number 8. Alright, so number 8 has to do with the nether of this same world. So here's my beautiful nether hub. I know you're very jealous. You may be thinking, oh, nothing looks immediately super wrong with this. It is just a normal, super flat nether for the time. And yes, you'd be correct in that statement. But, skin gallery. Yikes. For this to work, we have to fly this way. Because, if I go over here, you can see the nether fog is just magically lifted. How's that happening? I don't know. The only thing that I can assume is that this biome that is in this area specifically is being assigned wrong. Because nothing is spawned right now. I'll have to throw up a clip from a previous video right now.
What the fuck?
How are you here?
What the fuck? Huh?
Who's here? How are they here?
You're gonna have to watch the video to find out.
Yeah, that was pretty cool, right? But yeah, mobs will spawn in here. And there's no nether fog, so I assume it's just assigning the biome wrong. I don't know how to check that on Bedrock Edition, because there's no F3 screen, of course. But yeah, and I guess another thing to mention is that the bedrock wall is only on this side and that one, and not the other ones, which is really strange. Yeah. But other than that, it's normal nether terrain, which I think is consistent with the other world. This isn't a bug. This will just happen. But I'm pretty sure it keeps the bedrock walls. I don't know. Might be wrong. But, anyways, I liked this phenomenon so much that I tried to emulate it in my current creative world by just clearing out the nether hub. Although, there is still fog, but I do play with a texture pack normally that removes nether fog. But that's not on right now, because if it was, then this wouldn't happen. So, there you go. Alright, for this one, we're gonna have to go back to the olden times. Back to the days of Xbox 360 edition. What up, how I want? Ooh, E10, Fantasy Violence. The Xbox Live Arcade. Microsoft Studios. Mojang. So, number 9 has to do with one of my previous creative worlds on the Xbox 360. As you'll see below the world icon, the seed is 0, which doesn't make sense. How did you get the seed 0, OneCrafter? I don't know. I don't really remember how this world was created. But you're going to see the effects of seed 0 in just a moment. And what made this world so special. So, we're going to have to fly over here to demonstrate. Here's my lovely house. Very nice. You might notice this wall looks rather flat. Huh. Why is that? It's also flat under the water. That's quite strange. How about we look at a map, which is map number 0, but not a broken one. You can see there's a very strange square taken out of this world. And I don't know why exactly that happened, but nonetheless, it is pretty cool. And it seems like it goes to right here. So yeah, there's just a random chunk of this world that is just different for some reason. It might be like rotated or something. I don't know. But it's different for whatever reason that may be. If you want to see another example of seed 0, if we go down here to the previous one, which is a kind of corrupted world, so it doesn't generate correctly. If you are familiar with how the 360 edition works, you'll see how this is taking a long time to load, and that's because it's actually generating a new world, instead of trying to load up the data that's there, because there isn't any. So all the data in this world is like null and void, because at some point there was an update for Minecraft, and I tried installing it, but for whatever reason the console got turned off in the middle of it, and so it didn't install the update, and so it reverted back to the version on the disk, and I was like, oh, this is old Minecraft. What's the best thing I can do right now? Probably open my favorite world and completely ruin it. So that's what happened to this world. Some famous people play Minecraft. Did you guys know that? That's crazy. Alright, and after about 85 years, the world has finally loaded. And if we take a peek over here, you'll see this is the exact same side. Same place. Let me see if I can generate a map. And you will soon discover that I forgot you can't do that. If I fill out this map at least enough to see the square, that it is in fact the same square all the way around. It's very strange. It just doesn't know what to do, and it loads the same terrain. Like, this is entirely the same world as the one I just showed you, except of course that there's nothing built in it yet. Isn't that weird? And for number 10, it's this campfire, which looks unassuming at first, but it actually has a name tag somehow. I don't know if you can still do this. We're gonna test this out live. Let's see. Joe. Nope, you cannot name tag campfires anymore. I don't know why you could in the first place, but yeah, this campfire has a name. Number 11 comes from my box of goodies over here, which you're not allowed to see in, because that'll be spoilers. But it is this unassuming map. which is called Unknown Map in my inventory, but if I go like this, it's called Map 0. The only thing about Map 0 is, well, there is no map. Isn't that weird? There's no map there. So I believe the reason that this happens is if you have a map in an item frame on a world and then you use an external program to port that structure to another world that doesn't have this map, it just breaks and displays nothing. So yeah, and for number 12, we're gonna be going to the end dimension because, as you probably know, every end dimension has a spawn platform. It looks like this. It's a 5x5 of obsidian, totaling to 25. If you break it, it'll regenerate when someone comes through the end. Now, the weird thing about this world, and you can choose to believe me on this or not, is that there are actually 3 spawn platforms for some reason. As you can see, this one is also 5x5. And then there's one up here, which is also a 5x5. So, I could have just built these here, which maybe this should have been lower on the list. I could have just built these, and you guys would never know. But I promise you that at some point, for some reason, I went through an end portal, and I spawned on those platforms. Actually, I think that one just kind of generated there. Like, I spawned in over there, and then I looked, and that just loaded in. But that one I definitely spawned on at some point. But yeah, like I said, you can believe me or not, I don't care. That's what happened. Number 13 is also kind of an honorary mention, because I seem to have lost the horse. So, as many people probably know, there was a bug on Bedrock Edition where you could give a horse, or you can give 2 horses speed 2, breed them together, and then the offspring of that would just by default have speed 2 permanently. And you could keep stacking that until you had a ridiculously fast horse. I didn't make a ridiculously fast horse, but I did make a much faster than normal one. But I seem to have misplaced it. So, this is, like I said, kind of an honorary mention. However, to hopefully tide you over, all these horses seem to just be stuck. I don't know why. They've been very patiently sitting in these bleachers for ever. They've just been here. They refuse to move on their own. Like, if I take Spritey here, and if I put him out here, let's see if he moves on his own. There you go. He's not broken. But if I go and put him in these bleachers, for some reason, being in this gap, they just can't pathfind, I guess. So yeah, that's that. Now this next one, I think, is where we start getting into the more interesting ones. That horse one was kind of a letdown. But over here, I have this barrel with a bunch of shulker boxes in it. So we're gonna, let's go with the Woodland Mansion one. So, in here, I have random chests with plus data, which you can get plus data on something by, I don't know, ooh, no spoilers. You can hold control and then the middle mouse button, you can get plus data. So when you place it down, you'll have the item in it. Pretty cool, right? So, the thing that I did with these is, let's go with this, I think they're all pretty much the same. This is a loot chest from a Woodland Mansion. So if I open this, you can see it has random loot from a mansion. If I open this one, same thing. the thing about these is that you cannot do this anymore. If I were to go to a woodland mansion right now and control middle mouse button a chest in there, it would only have the loot of the chest that I pick, like this. This is what it would do. But this one generates a new loot table every time. And I have loot table chests for a lot of structures, not all of them sadly, because I didn't realize it would be going away. But for a lot of them, I have that. So, like I have plains villages, I have a savanna village, desert, including the desert village, taiga, some underground stuff like strongholds and dungeons, bastions, nether, miscellaneous overworld, ocean, woodland mansion, the end, and tundra. Which there could be more, but I think it's a decent amount. Also, I don't know if anyone else has this bug right now, but if I try and press Q on something, it just acts like a right click, or maybe even a left click. I don't even know. You can hear me pressing Q. This is clicking. That's a button on my keyboard. I can't press Q to drop something. I don't know why. So, yeah, that's the NBT chest. You cannot get these anymore as far as I know. So that's pretty cool. And I actually used that to make a full set of diamond armor purely out of loot from a bastion. Just combining diamond armor pieces. I got 40 gapples, I got apples that way, and all of this loot from placing and breaking all of those loot chests. Oh, this one came from Ruin Portal. So it's just these three. Alright, for this next one, we're gonna have to go onto my realm, which is a realm that I have with my friends. And we play on it. Well, I play on it quite often. No one else really does anymore, because it's gotten kind of stale. Which I don't blame them, because that just happens. Alright, so, on this realm, there's a pretty cool little thing over here. It's this bubble column, which, as you can see, does not have water, but it still functions as a bubble column. Isn't that cool? This goes all the way up, and I believe you can still do this today. The method for doing this is you build a normal bubble column with water, and then starting at the top, place powdered snow buckets going all the way down, and then once you're done with that, you can place water at the top to get rid of all the ghost blocks of powdered snow, and then you have a waterless bubble column. If you want to see something even cooler though that has to do with bubble columns, check out this next one. Pow! You like that transition? My chunks aren't loading. So, this is the previous realm world, Lunar Survival 7. And in this world, it's not there anymore, it's been a while, I have a cool little thing. I have tile.bubble_column.name. What is that, one crafter? I hear you asking. Well, I don't really want to place any of these down, honestly, because then I would have less than 64. But I'm going to do it anyways. And we're going to find out if it actually still places or not, because I don't remember. This, as you can see by the texture, is a bubble column. Yeah, it doesn't work. But you can see it does still try and push me up. I have phantoms. Hold on. Oh my god, there's so many. Let me go back into my cool shipwreck house and go to sleep. I forget exactly the method for doing this, and it probably doesn't work anymore, but you can just look up a video by someone who's smarter than me. But it basically involved a method which we'll go over again later for a different tile, where you kind of trick the game into thinking you're mining something else while you're mining like dirt or snow or something, and that's how you get this. I'll keep it safe in my inner chest for now. So this next one takes place in my main survival world that I don't really play on anymore, but it's called TGS, or The Greatest Survival. We have in here a full set of Efficiency 1 leather armor, and also some Efficiency 1 chainmail leggings. And also 3 golden apples that have Efficiency 1 on them. Just like the normal golden apple, but like cooler, you know? Not such as. Pfft. They're like the enchanted golden apple, but different. In fact, I thought these are supposed to be called enchanted apples now. Maybe I'm wrong. But yeah. These things have Efficiency 1 on them. So, the reason that this happens is because you can get this in the axe room of a woodland mansion, because it's supposed to generate an iron axe with Efficiency 1, but the game for some reason has messed that up, and instead it replaces it with something else, which so far has been leather armor, all the chain armor, I'm pretty sure, and now a normal golden apple. So, if they don't fix it, who knows what will have Efficiency 1 next. It could be anything, honestly. But yeah, that's that. For number 18 and 19, we're going back to offline creative. Oh. Anyways, after that rude interruption by the end portal. In here, I have some pretty cool items. I don't know if they're in a kit at all. Yes. So, if you take a look at this sword, you might think all the enchantments look fine, but this sword has Efficiency 5 on it. And then there's also... There we go. As you can see, this bow has Fortune 3 on it for some reason. The way that this works is because on the console edition, which is, as I said previously, when this world was created, you could, in creative mode, just combine any enchanted book onto, I'm pretty sure, any item, and you could just put it on there. It could be random bullshit, and it would just go on there. So, I have a Fortune 3 bow and an Efficiency 5 sword. Of course, I have upgraded those to netherite, because why wouldn't I? I guess the only other thing on here is these shovels, which are very normal now. There's nothing special about them. But for a long time on Bedrock Edition, we didn't have the curses for some reason. So these shovels that have Curse of Vanishing on them, they weren't red text, they were just gray, like the rest of the enchantments. And fortunately I never tested to see if the curse actually worked before they got added to Bedrock Edition, but that's why this is called a 1.14 Curse Shovel, because they weren't on Bedrock Edition in 1.14, but they were on Console Edition, which is how that happened. for this next one, we're back in new creative, NNC, and I have various blocks that are placed on lightning rods, which you shouldn't be able to do anymore. And in fact, you can't for, I'm pretty sure, all of these, especially these ones. There used to be, I'm pretty sure these were the nether vines here, and then I would assume they grew and then broke. But yeah, let's test this out. How about a lever? Can you place a lever on here? You cannot. You can probably set block it though. Oh, well, that's just wrong. How about lever direction? That is not down, my friend. I probably shouldn't be showing that I know how to do this. It kinda invalidates this a little bit. But you can look it up. At some point, you were able to just place random bullshit on here. Well, you can still do this one. Can you hang it from it though? You cannot. I should have placed that down somewhere. But at some point, you could just place random stuff on lightning rods, and it wouldn't break. And you can't do most of these anymore. Let's try the rails. Can't do rails. Doesn't work. There's also that, but I used set block for that, so it's kinda not cool. Alright, so for 21, 22, and 23, we're going for the 3 time. I have 3 special blocks from my special box. So, our first one is tile.info_update.name, which is a very strange name, and an even stranger texture. It used to have a different texture. I kind of like the old one better, because this is just... it's just like... oh. I don't remember exactly how this happens, but it was something to do in the older versions of Bedrock Edition, where there was a block that Bedrock Edition didn't have, so it would just replace it with this. So that happened. But the next one, which is 22, is tile.end_gateway.name, which is exactly what it sounds like. It's an end gateway tile. Now, unfortunately, in the overworld, this does not work. However, if I were to go to the end, then it will work. It works in a strange way. And I hope I don't completely break all the end gateways in here, because that would suck. But if I place this down and walk into it, it teleports you to 000 for no reason. So if you go through it, you will probably just die, which is really funny, if you ask me. Now, let's test if all these end gateways are broken. Nope, they still work. Okay, good. Also, I realized while editing this that I never explained how you got the end gateway in the past. I tried looking up a tutorial for it, but the only one that I found was using an NBT editor to just give it to yourself, which is not the way that I did it. The way that I did it was by spawning a wither in a specific way on an end gateway, so then when it like stops spinning and like starts flying around after spawning in, it just breaks the end gateway and it drops it as a block, and then you can just pick it up. So the next one is tile.daylight_detector_inverted.name, which is just an inverted daylight detector. I don't know if you can still get this. Let's try it out. If I throw that out. Oh, you can. Yeah, so you just... can you just middle mouse it? Yeah. If you just pick block this, you can get it. For number 24, we're back on TGS, and this is quite a special one, because in here, I have a bunch of nether portal blocks. Huh, that's really weird. But do they work, OneCrafter? They do, as you can see. Actually, yeah, let's go to the nether, see what happens. Probably gonna put me in a random spot without a portal. Yep. Alright, let's go back home. So, the method for getting these probably doesn't work anymore. I don't know. I got these like 2 years ago, probably. The method involved... I don't know if I still have the setup out here. Involved like pushing a snow block in and out of a nether portal. Yeah, I do still have it. You push a snow block in and out of a nether portal very quickly. And then you also have the nether portal constantly being lit and then broken. And for some reason, when you mine the snow, you're just supposed to hold down mining the snow. It would just create shit tons of those nether portal tiles. And I have phantoms on this world too. I just never sleep, I guess. There's monsters nearby. Well, that's fantastic. Anyways. So yeah, I have a bunch of those. And not really much to do with them. But they're pretty cool. And for number 25, you might have seen it earlier. You might have been like, what the hell is that? In here, I have item.glow_stick.black.name, which I'm not going to use, but this is what it looks like. And this is an education edition item. You should not be able to get it in normal bedrock edition, but this is kind of famous, so you might know about this already. The way that you get this is, wouldn't you know it, a woodland mansion. There is a specific rare room in a woodland mansion which generates behind a wall, I think. Or no. Oh, it is open. And it has like a fake fake end portal made out of wool. And then there's a trapped chest with TNT on either side. And in the trapped chest there's supposed to be 2, I think, ender pearls. And instead of generating ender pearls, for some reason it generated 2 glow sticks. I don't know where I put the other one, but I have that one there. And I'm pretty sure they fixed it, so you can't get it anymore, sadly. But it is still very cool that I have that. And for number 26, you probably saw this earlier as well, depending on how I cut the video. This is the original stone cutter block. This is not the same as this stone cutter. It is entirely different because this one has a UI and this one does not. And in fact, I don't have to crouch to place it on itself because it does not have a UI, as I said. So this is a very, very, very old item. Can you pick block it? You can. This was a thing back in Pocket Edition when I started playing Minecraft. This item is so fucking old. I started playing Minecraft in like 2011 when Pocket Edition came out, and that's when this item was a thing. But it used to work exactly, pretty much exactly like the modern stone cutter does. The 1.14 stone cutter. But now, sadly, it does not have a function at all. And in fact, you cannot get it in the game, I'm pretty sure. Unless you maybe use an NBT editor. Number 27 is a very special block to me. and it's also our last one. This is the nether reactor core. This thing is also just about as old as the stone cutter, I'm pretty sure. So, this was also a thing on Bedrock Edition, or no, Pocket Edition, way back in the day. So, the thing you used to do would be, let's see if I remember it. Like this. I think it was this structure, and then you would just hit the core. Unfortunately, like a lot of things, it doesn't work anymore. And in fact, pickaxe. It doesn't even drop if you break it with a pickaxe. It just drops its crafting ingredients. 3 diamonds, 6 iron. So yeah, it doesn't work anymore, sadly, but it is still in the game in some capacity, so that's very cool, and you can pick block it if it's in the world, so you don't have to break it. I think even if you break it with Silk Touch, it doesn't work. Let's try that right now. Silk Touch pickaxe. Yeah, it doesn't drop. Very sad. But it is still in the game. You could probably get it with an NBT editor. But the way I got it is that I don't think it was in this building, but it was in the world that this building comes from. Just used like underground randomly, so you wouldn't be able to find it unless you were blowing everything up like I was. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like and subscribe. If you didn't, like and subscribe anyways. And let me know what you want to see from me, because I have a couple ideas, but I don't think that they're very good. And yeah, see you later. Bye. Bye. Goodbye. Bye.